and we will come to the end with Kai as our general evaluator. Kai, please.
The best evenings I remember always had a lot of laughter. So tonight is one of the best evenings I will remember in the future. And that, even though we had a strong topic, climate change, climate problems, but Alex, you managed very well with that as a Toastmaster of the evening. As a general evaluator, I have a lot of time, 8 minutes. Yeah, I have. And the timer should know it. I'm not sure if I will have overtime, so Uli, please time me, even though your job is already done.
And we laughed again.
Yeah. I told you I'm going to fly like a dragonfly, and maybe that's the excuse for me if I'm going overtime, if I'm not mentioning everything what I should mention, because flying as a dragonfly, that's fun. Try it out in your imagination. Yeah? I will try to fly through the agenda and give some more feedback. So Abel, as always, you did a great job with preparing the room as Sergeant at Arms. This is something what needs an extra applause because he's coming early, he's leaving late. Thank you so much, Abel. I have one idea. We haven't been in this room for quite a while, and you maybe noticed the phone ringing, and I had a noise of I don't know, the ventilator or so. Maybe it would be an idea if we are here to be at this end of the room. Just an idea. Let's try it out maybe, yeah? Yeah, Ollie. What should I say about Ollie presenting and opening? Is there any technical devices he is using? Not so many times, and today as well, no iPad. Yeah? So brave and great. Thank you, Mr. President. And of course you related to the topic, and that's always good to introduce what is maybe on the agenda and make it easier for all of us to understand what's it about tonight and help the Toastmaster that we all dive into that topic. Alex, that was an amazing show you did, or let me say a good guidance through the evening. And even more, because you brought the topic and you also brought a lot of interesting interactions. We learned even in the end, when the evaluators told their stories, you got a question for them. Yeah? That might be a dangerous field, because if you would have asked me, and I'm not sure if you will, I would be maybe afraid and fly away like a dragon. But that was great. And you are a great role model with that, because Toastmaster of the evening is quite a big of responsibility. You are in charge of everything, yeah? And also the timing, even though you have a team, yeah? And you did a great job. And maybe I come to the one or the other point throughout my evaluations, but I need to go on. Word of the day, yeah, Abel, you know, I used it a lot. I love this word. I will always remember your word of the day. Very well done. Diego, great that you stepped up. M counting is an interesting job, and I think you picked it as a good choice, because when you report it, we learned that you are also not aware of being perfect with it, yes? And that's why we take over the roles, that we learn, in this case, listen closely, who is using ands, ohs, and you did it, you reported well, and you have a field of development. So maybe give the role to another person next time, and then try to look out what is happening with this person and the others, because now you are in this job. And I saw you once or twice, I think, doing it. So leave the room for another one, and then find out what are they doing. Are they also stumbling? Because as the feedback giving people, we are not very well prepared. We have a great chance to, because we think a lot, we need to look at our notes, yeah? And breathing, sometimes a good idea to not have fillers. I try to practice that now. Fully timing very well as always. You explained it precisely, you showed up the device, you even gave the example for the table topics, 1.5, 2 minutes, and you showed for Lorena the 5 to 7 minutes. Excellent. Me, I don't know, I don't like to give my feedback to myself, but maybe you can do it after at the bar. So where is my next point? Yeah, the table topics, Julika. As always, well prepared. You presented the idea and you tried to uplift whatever participant came up here, because you not only handed over the question, but afterwards, for example, you gave them some good words and you made a warm welcome, for example, and go off the stage. I like that very much. And we had laughing and applause. And that was also your winning topic, I guess. Yeah. The participants in Table Talks, we already heard an amazing feedback from Miguel. And I will maybe go over it in a minute, but Table Topics was really good, and also with the timing, as I learned. Yeah. Ha! There's another page. There it is. Showtime. Again, Julika, you take the opportunities, and that's also one thing what we Toastmasters should do whenever it's given. Yeah? If there's no chronicler, show up and say, I'll do it. If there's no Toastmaster of the evening, do it. If there's no Showtime participant, show up, and you do. And not only tonight, but I watched that you always do. That's great. You are a great role model, so thank you for that. And you had props. You had questions. You had interactions with the audience. And these are the recipes for a good speech, right? To get in touch with the others and so on. Now I have to speed up. Lorena, great speech. And Salva, before her speech, you gave a great explanation about the topic and the objectives. Very well done. You read it, and that is precise. That's good at that point, because it's about the feedback for a speaker. Yeah. And Lorena, you did, as I have seen you several times, a really good job. And I don't have to evaluate because Salva did it. You're amazing, like always. And that brings me then to the table topics evaluation, because that was also a great role model for all of us, because you had less time. There were not 3 speakers, but 4. So the time was even more short, as my is now, yeah? But you had constructive feedback, positive improvement, and motivational sandwich, yes? So I drop off what the details are. We can talk at the bar maybe in the afternoon. Then the evaluation, Salva. I have one word here, and maybe you remember 2 weeks ago. Wasn't Salvador presidentially presenting the feedback? Presidentially. What does that mean? I think maybe the members know. Salva, I think you have a great presence. You watch, listen precisely. You have a smile in your face. You have a great presence. And that's something we need for a person taking over the important officer roles. For example, the president's job. And I would repeat it now. Think about becoming the next president, because you would be the great one, okay? So what's going on? You did a great feedback because you mentioned everything important in her speech. You mentioned the questions, questions about her notes, and you gave an example that you have them in your pocket, yes, and that she doesn't need it. You encouraged her with her bravery, yeah, because you said, you can do it, Lorena. And that was great. And you had several improvement tips, not only the one at the end with the memorizing speech, what you mentioned, and then the advice about it. So what is the next? The feedback, Diego, I already mentioned, and there was also laughter, humor, interaction, because then there was some interaction going on, great. Uli, you were like the mother saying, yeah, kids, you have been overtiming. Kai, I see you.
10
I see you.
10 minutes.
10. I am the general baby.
The character.
I know it's a character, but stop.
Yeah. The good thing is that this device has a switch. And now that's enough humor, I guess, because we want to stay in time because that's a kind of respect. And Toastmasters is also about being respectful. Yeah, we evaluate with respect. We are on eye level, we don't judge, we uplift. And we have fun together, we become friends, and we support each other. And that was the overall, what I felt all over the evening. And so with this, I think I stop now. Say thank you for everything, and now I'm afraid of the question.
There is no
But there's no
question
time.
for you because
time.
you spoke so much. So. Well, I cannot beat this, but we are coming to the end of the session, and I would like